Girl stuff is how we like to communicate our thoughts and feeling, stories that can make you relate. And we talk to some cool people we met on the way. So thanks for tuning in. We hope that you like your stay.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Girl Stuff podcast. Today we're joined by KIZZY. You have seen them, and if you haven't, what have you been doing? But you should have seen them on your screen as Darcy in Heartstopper. So, before we go more into your background as an actor, we'll be talking about the thing that everybody wants to talk about. So, Heartstopper. Darcy was your breakout role, and we at GIRLSTUFF have always been fascinated with what it must be like for actors who are just starting out in the industry, because there's nothing really that compares to acting, and it's so much like learning by doing. Did you have any experience working in film, TV, or theater before you started filming Heartstopper?
I went to the Brit School for about a term for film studies, and I was always a big film studies fan. I did really well at GCSE, which is a bit transferable, I guess, because then you know what's going on. I did a school production of Grease. And I did Haroon in the Sea of Stories when I was about 11. So that's all I've done.
So I'm a huge Grease fan. The other girls on the podcast are not as much. But I am here, so can ask. What role did you play in Grease?
I was Jan.
Ooh,
yeah, the one that eats all the time.
Love it. It must have been fun.
It was good fun.
Okay, but going back to Heartstopper, what originally drew you to the project?
Oh, I knew Heartstopper from when I was a bit younger. Followed Alice on Tumblr. I think I may even have sent them an ask at one point, being like, I love your comics. Open casting. I was doing my A-levels. I was like, God, I love Alice. I love everything I've done. And I was like, let's do it, let's try. And I remember getting these emails in between classes being like, okay, you have to do your second tape now, or, you're going in for a chemistry read. And I was like, great, fantastic.
And with the merge of more and more queer actors in mainstream media, it's still all too rare for queer actors to actually be played by openly queer actors. What has it meant to you to be able to bring that level of representation to the table with your breakout role?
It feels like, I don't think I could have gone into acting any other way. Darcy's so much like me. And I don't know, it feels a lot like my story. It's obviously slightly different from my experience, but it does feel like, I can tell this right, I feel.
Yeah, and you already mentioned that you have read the webtoon prior to getting the audition. Did you feel a lot of pressure at all, especially given the popularity of the webcomics?
I didn't really realise the extent of the fandom until the show came out. Before then I was like, yeah, it's got a decent, it's nice to have a fandom behind a show, that's nice. And it has now just sort of blown up, and it's really intense. And I don't think I was expecting it to. I don't think I was expected people to think about me. The show, of course, the show's incredible. The boys did amazing, but it's weird how people are to me, and it's very very it's very flattering.
We did ask, on Instagram, who do you guys want us to interview? And it was, mainly the Heartstopper cast. So I was like, I'm trying. Trust me, I'm trying. They are very busy right now. But yeah, given you reading the graphic novels prior, do you have a favorite Darcy moment in the comic?
I like when in Paris, after she's drunk too much, Tara looks after her. That's my favourite.
It's so cute.
There's a line that's even when I smell sick. And she's like, yeah, even when you smell sick. And I just thought it was really cute.
So is that a scene you want to be brought to life?
I mean, I have zero idea what they're working on right now. Alice won't tell me. No one will tell me what's going to happen. So I don't want to, say I really want it and then disappoint everyone and it not happen. There are so many scenes and so many new ones that I know Alice is going to come up with.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And I mean, you're going to be one of the first people to know. So, well, before us.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
No, the cast never know we're usually the last to know things when they happen, just because they know we'll tell people.
Who out of the cast would you say is like the Tom Holland of like spilling secrets out of all of you?
Yaz is quite good, but we can, if they're like Doctor Who, we weaseled out of her. I'm quite bad. But Joe's amazing. I think it might have to be me or Karina.
I mean, fair. I think I wouldn't be able to keep it in. So speaking of the comics, do you have a favorite volume as of right now? Because the 5th one is just like not completely.
I think the most
yet.
recent one. I've actually I think I've answered volume 2 before, but now I've reread volume 4. I was like, no, I think it's volume 4.
And I mean, they're so hard, like, to get their hands on right now, like all of the volumes.
Alice gave me one, so I'm good.
So this is a funny story. So I knew of the of the web comics before, but I never like had the money to buy the actual books. So I was always like, nah, I can read it online whenever I want to. But now the site keeps crashing. So it won't load because so many people are trying to access it. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll put money aside, and now I'm very broke, but I bought all of them. But my orders kept getting canceled, and now I have so many Heartstopper books. Like, I have this version 3 times, and I already sold one to my best friend. And I do have the TV tie-in as well. Twice.
Did you manage to get any without the Netflix stick? Because I know a lot of people
No,
don't like
no, and it makes me so upset.
It's not removed, is it?
No, it's like
no.
it's like stuck on there, and I hate it. Why do people do this? Trying so hard to go back to the UK. The last time I've been was 2016, which is very sad. But I'm coming back very, very soon, as soon as I have money.
Yeah, I like it here. Just come here. It's good fun.
I loved it. I was there with school for like a week, and it was called Brighton, like Brighton trip. But the only
That's where I
time
live.
I love Brighton. It's so pretty. But the only time we actually were in Brighton was for sleeping, and then like one morning we went to the pier, and I had so many shops because I was obsessed with Zoella at the time. I had a list with stores she went to that she kept recommending, and I was like, I want to go. But we went there at 7 a.m. and everything was closed. I was so upset. So this is still something I need to do.
I have such a similar Zoella story. I
Spill.
remember being about 13, and she posted on her Snapchat story that she was in Bill's. And me and my group of little 13-year-olds ran. And, like, I didn't know what we were going to say to her, what we were going to do, but we just wanted to see her.
Just
I
like,
mean,
hi.
hello, I'm 13 and you're amazing.
They grew up with you. Okay, but let's talk about your role in the series. Darcy is a very, like, lively and chaotic, in the best way, character. So, you already said you're very similar to her. So, was the preparation for the role very easy?
I mean, it was the easiest character it could have been for me. I think anything else I would have really, really struggled with if I was literally anyone else other than Darcy. The main preparation I had to do was sort of understanding how a set worked and where I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to do and what the etiquette was and remembering names and that sort of thing. So it was really more logistical stuff. But we did do some work, like, on our character, like, actually quite a lot of work. But I think Darcy is, like, I could play Darcy forever. I could switch into Darcy at any moment, mate. And it has rubbed off on me, like, actually in real life. I think it makes me, like, regress a little bit. So I like, because she's 16, I'm 19, I know that's not huge, but it does feel a bit. So it makes me, like, sort of feel younger. It's quite strange.
But I mean, the show has like such a wide audience, but especially like the audience who have left like childhood behind and are way into their adulthood have praising the show because it's something they wish they had when they were younger. So how do you think you as a younger person would have reacted to the show?
Oh, I think I would have had a fan club for it. I was head of LGBT society at my old school. I would have been like shilling for it really, really hard if I had no relation to it at all. If the show had come out when I was younger, I also probably would have come out earlier. So yeah.
So you guys filmed the show back in 2021 during COVID, like during lockdown. What was that like, in having to build like sort of a relationship, especially with Karina, developing Darcy and Tara's relationship when you couldn't really like in person with the masks and everything? How was that like?
The one time we were allowed to take our masks off was to eat. So we would try and have like really long lunches and just keep eating quite slowly so we could talk to each other. And a lot of people, especially in the crew, I never since like production. I've only seen their face since production. I could hardly recognize them because they look completely different to how I imagine them. That is quite odd, trying to build a relationship, especially with the crew, who of course have loads of other things to do than talk to you. They're very, very busy. And yeah, it's really weird.
So, we've seen a lot of behind the scenes in Toby's vlogs, which I am very thankful for because that's so fun to watch. What is your favorite memory from set?
Well, my dad came to visit set. He's in Toby's most recent blog. You can spot him. He's like tiny and he's next to me. My dad came to set. I just really wanted to show him, Dad, look what I'm doing. And he met everyone. He really got along with Karina. He was like, that one's got so much energy. He really, really liked it. And that was my favourite day. And that's the day we got ice cream as well. And the ice cream is spectacular.
I bet. I'm probably going to eat some ice cream after this, honestly.
Good idea.
What was your favorite scene to film? And what was the most difficult scene to film? Whether it's you breaking or it just being like emotional or whatever.
The most fun scene to film was the party. Everyone was dancing. I mean, I guess people were getting a bit tired, especially because there's no music most of the time when you're filming, so it's just a room of people sort of dancing with no beat. But it was a really nice day, and that was Ria's birthday as well. And Ria was really happy. And I got to be not quite in a scene with Cormac. That's the closest I got to being on a scene with Cormac, and one of the only days I was on set with Cormac. Cormac was doing he at the party there was like a separate party scene to the one me and Karina were in, but we were all there that day. And then the hardest thing to scene was the music room scene where Karina cries. Because I felt really bad for her. Karina's so talented and so natural. And I felt like I was struggling to match her energy because, I mean, our RSR director kept telling her, like, tone it down and KIZZY tone it up, if that makes sense. And I found it really, really difficult to sort of, be as full of energy as Karina was in that scene. And I feel like I was just sort of not on it that day, but I tried really hard.
It looked great. It looked very, very great. Okay, so I don't know what your For You page on TikTok looks like, but it's been over a month and mine is still almost exclusively Heartstopper. Did you expect this type of reception from the Netflix audience?
First of all, I don't really use TikTok. I definitely don't like to scroll on it because I know if I'm going to find hate accidentally, I'll find it on there. So I just don't really use it. I don't know. I kind of assumed that the Netflix audience wasn't the ages that they are. I kind of assumed the Netflix audience wanted more mature content. And the fact that like a show for young people is doing so well has actually surprised me. And it obviously it's not just for young people, but the fact that there are so many young people there, I didn't I didn't see them.
So, I actually made my mom watch Heartstopper the other day. We finished Stranger Things and I needed something to calm down. So I was like, Mom, can we please? Because at that point, I stopped counting, honestly. But I was like, Mom, please. And she was like, we'll watch one episode. And I was like, can't we watch like at least two? And she was like, no. We'll watch one. And we watched one. And she was like, okay, we can continue. And I was like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We watched it. We watched 4 hours. We watched all of it in one sitting. And she really liked it. And she was like, I like Nick. And I was like, okay, Mom, okay.
I like
Nick
like, too.
She was like, I identify with him. And I went, do you identify with him? And I was like, well, mentally I'm more Charlie, but like, yes. No, there was a TikTok trend going on, like, let your best friend describe you with Heartstopper characters. And I texted it to my best friend and was like, can you please do this? Thank you. And it was like personality, style, sexuality, IQ. And so it was mental health, it was Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Personality, also Charlie. Style, she put Imogen. Sexuality, Nick. And then IQ, she put Nelly. And I was like, are you? And she was like, I imagine that dog having a very high IQ. And I was like, you better. I was like, are you insulting me right now? Are you insulting? And she was like, no, I mean it as a compliment. And I was like,
yeah. That's so funny.
I was like, thanks. So if you had to describe yourself, like personality and everything with characters from Heartstopper, how would you describe yourself?
Okay, personality, I think it has to be Darcy. What else was there?
It was IQ, mental health, style, and sexuality.
Okay, IQ, Nick. He's not like... I think he just doesn't work hard at school, or he just can't focus on school, or he just has issues with school in general, and I'm really bad at school. Style, I think my style is closest to Charlie's. Have I missed any?
Mental health.
Mental health, right. Tara.
One of the things that makes Heartstopper so iconic and that audience have been raving about is the soundtrack. Do you have a favorite song of the current soundtrack of season 1?
Clear as Blue. Always Clear as Blue. It came on when I was in a club and I started crying in the club. Because I was like, I mean,
this is my song.
I was like, Philip, my best friend, I was like, Philip, it's Clear as Blue. I've never danced harder, by the way, to that song to any song in a club. Definitely Clear as Blue. I've been a fan of that song for a long time.
Okay, so going off of that, if you could choose one song to put in a future season of Heartstopper, what would it be?
Well, okay, I helped to get Sappho by Frankie Cosmos on this soundtrack, and I was very proud of myself for that. For like, Patrick and Alice, you know what you should put on? You should put Sappho by Frankie Cosmos. I don't know, I want a Sophie song. I'm not sure which, but I think a Sophie song would be great.
Okay. So before we start with a little game, what do you hope people learn, or what do you hope resonates with people who watch Heartstopper?
That there's always people around you that are the same as you. That even in one school, you will not be the only gay person. You will not be the only queer person. There are more, you might just be the first to understand it, and there are other people that might be thinking of it too, and just because you don't see them or don't see us doesn't mean we're not there.
And I mean, that's very like prominent in Heartstopper, because usually queers roll with each other. Like, you don't even notice, but we just find each other. Like, I have so many people in my friend group that just like started randomly coming out, and I was like, oh, my people.
I think I can't name a single one of my friends that's straight, really. it's a community, and we do better together, and we feel better together, I think.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so the game of Who Said It, I already teased it. You're playing against Toby and Cormac
Okay.
in your head. So I have 17 lines. I will say the line, and you have to tell me what character says it.
Okay.
So the first line is, "How dare you?"
I know you can see the cogs working in my brain there. Okay, am I allowed to like talk this through while I think about
Yeah,
it? Okay.
you do you.
Okay. It wasn't me. It wasn't Karina. It could have been Kit. It could have been Will, and it could have been Yaz. I'm gonna go with Tao Will.
So, we got hate for this actually. So we're going for Charlie saying it at episode 1, but Tao says it twice.
Okay.
So people were like,
Okay.
as when I said no to Toby, people were like, but Tao does say it. And I was like, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll count it. So the second line is, "A trio of borderline outcasts."
That's Will Tao.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the next one is, "Where is your can-do attitude?"
Is that Coach Singh? Who is it?
It's Nick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so number 4 is a very iconic line. It's, "I want to believe in romance."
That's Toby. That's Isaac.
Yep.
So good.
So the next one is, "I don't think he's straight."
That's Tori. Okay.
Love Tori. Tori is probably like one of my favorite characters.
She deserves a spin-off, honestly. I would go crazy.
Solitaire. I'm waiting.
Literally.
Okay. Number 6 is, "The lads concedes banter."
That's Harry Green.
Yep.
Okay, I got one wrong.
You're doing great.
Okay.
The next one is a tricky one though, and it's 'cause you're old.
Is that Charlie?
Yeah. Okay.
Is that at the arcade, or am I being crazy?
No, it's when they're running in episode 3 and
Oh.
Nick is exhausted. Okay, the next one is, "I'm having a proper full-on gay crisis."
That's Nick Nelson.
Yes, it is. The next one is, "Harry, don't let the game go soft."
That's Bash, isn't it? That's Ben.
Yep.
I love that. I love talking about that. We talked about that for ages in the group chat.
I made a TikTok about this because Toby and Cormac both brought it up during this game, and people are going crazy over that story. Everybody's like, "We need Bash's point of view," and I was like, "I'm trying." The next one is, "I'm a highly qualified hairstylist."
Imogen.
Yes. Then we got, "making us watch Avengers or something."
Tao.
Yeah. Okay. The next one is, "You shouldn't go out with someone just because you feel sorry for them."
Is that Nick's mum? I feel like I'm doing good here.
The Queen. The next one is, "I'm a very muscular individual."
It's either Charlie or Tao. Or Nick. Okay. I'm hearing it in their voices and I'm trying to figure it out. Nick would go, excuse me, I'm a very muscular individual, thank you. So, I don't know if it's Nick. I think Tao said it to Elle.
Just, yes. Okay. The next one should be pretty easy. We found another one.
It's me. It rained that day. It rained and it hailed.
Oh no.
You can see the wind in my hair and kids everywhere. We had little hand warmers. We were freezing to death out there. And they amazingly made it look like it's really sunny and really lovely. But our direction after every take was, can you stop shivering? Like...
I mean, one day it's raining when it's supposed to be sunny. The other it's sunny and they're putting rain on you guys. So...
Exactly.
Showbiz. Okay, the next one is, what about Harry Styles? He's pretty sexy.
Harry.
Yes. Also the only true thing he says in that show.
So true. They kept changing that line. At one point it was Zayn Malik, and then it was Harry Styles, and then it was Zayn Malik, and then it was Harry Styles. They couldn't decide.
It's Zayn in the book.
Is it Zayn in the book?
Yeah, and everybody's like, why did they change it up? And I was like, well, Harry is more popular right now.
Yeah.
So
I remember getting like the same script sent to me like a bunch of times, just that one word changed. Like filled up my email.
Well, okay, we got 2 more. And you're I think so far you're the best.
Yeah.
So, the next one is, you're not allowed to say the S word.
Nick says that to Charlie.
The last one is, don't let anyone make you disappear.
Mr. Jahi.
Yeah. You only got one wrong. Yeah.
No. I told you I would. Did I not tell you? I told you I would win. I'm so competitive, especially when it's these lot. We walked into this interview, where Alice's art classroom thing, and I was like, oh, I have to win this. I'm gonna win. And I steeled myself, and I was like, I'm gonna beat everyone. And you know what I did? I'm very competitive with them.
And it was Nick's drawing where you just went completely freehand and did your own thing, you know?
Yeah.
I love that.
Really
I
close
love
to the camera.
It was so cute. Okay, now that we talked about Heartstopper, let's go to acting. So, what inspired you to begin acting in the first place?
I've tried basically every creative pursuit, and some of them I'm naturally okay at, some of them I'm not. I'm a really bad musician, and I'm an okay scribbler. But I always like public speaking. I was really into like youth council when I was younger, and I used to do debate. So I like public speaking, and I do like a crowd. I think it's, and it makes me feel more confident afterwards. I think there's like a special sort of feeling after you come off a stage or after you come off a set, like, oh, it's over now. It's like a short thing, and it's contained in a really small amount of time, and it doesn't, I mean, if it's filmed, it stays there forever. But it's like, yeah.
So, what is your favorite thing about acting?
I like working with other people. I think it's one of those things where you can't do it by yourself. And I can get a bit big-headed and think, oh, like, I don't need anyone else's opinion. But with acting, you're forced to. You're forced to take it in, and a lot of time, it's much better than mine. And it's like a proper collaboration, which I like.
What is some advice that you would give the next generation of actors, or a younger you?
I mean, I really feel unqualified for that, but don't stop trying to be better. Watch yourself back. Take advice. Take critique. Even if you're rejection sensitive, which I am a bit. I don't like to be told I'm doing something wrong. It does make me feel a bit bad. But take it on board, and take critique well.
So you guys basically went from 0 to 100 after the show dropped. So how do you maintain a balance between your professional acting life and your personal life?
I find it really difficult, especially as of late, because it sort of seeps in. I'll meet someone and I'll start talking to them, and then like the third time we've had a conversation, they'll be like, oh, by the way, I know you from Heartstopper. And it kind of weirdly sort of taints things. And it does make me sort of nervous of everyone I meet. And I know I shouldn't be, the show's good, but I just feel a bit vulnerable to someone I haven't met seeing me like that. It is quite hard to keep them separate. I'm really bad with social media. I'm really, really awful with it. I can't stay off it. I can't stop. Sometimes, like, deliberately looking for bad things just because. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. I know that now. But, like, I don't know. I feel like I need to not be in a little echo chamber sometimes, and I need people to stop telling me it's great, and I need to see what went wrong. And nothing really did. But I do sort of get into that negative loop.
Yeah, and I mean, people can, like, on the internet, they talk about everything. They don't really have a filter because they're not directly speaking to the person. I think most of what is online, they would never say to your face. But we heard about Kit doing like a social media break, and I saw you on TikTok buying your new phone, which I love. So do having like a social media break, is that how you deal when it with the feelings when it starts to feel too much?
I don't really know how to. I've been on social media since I was like 11, and I really am one of those people that are glued to it. And it's also the way that I communicate with most people. Instagram is the way I communicate with most people. And, like, obviously the solution to that is get a private account, but then it would still be weird. And I still have to sift through DMs and find, like, who I want to talk to and who I don't. And I can't help seeing things, even when I want to just, respond to a message. I've been trying. I've been setting myself screen time limits, but yeah.
And I mean, you are still in school, and I don't know if you're having exams right now, but I think that also helps to like ground you and get your mind off of the social media stuff.
I mean, I think I've just failed the year, if I'm being completely honest. I got just below a pass, so I think I have to do summer resits. Yay. But that has been something to occupy myself with, and I live next to my best friend in uni, which does keep me off my phone. And I've been crocheting, which has actually been really, 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 really helpful because I can just it's like mindfulness. So that's another thing.
Yeah, and I mean, Joe deals his studying time by posting TikToks about having an exam in 8 hours. And everybody deals with work and studying differently.
I mean, as long as you get by. I've never been an overachiever. I've always sort of winged it.
No.
And I think, I can't imagine working for an A star or anything like that. I just don't think it's in my chemistry. I need frequent breaks. I wanted to work really hard for some of my teachers who I really loved. For want of a better word, I had a bunch of whatever teachers, but there were a couple of teachers, my English teacher and my film teachers, that I just wanted to do well for, because they liked me and they were kind to me, and I wanted to do well for them.
Yeah, I mean, and it's such a stereotype, but it's true. Like, queer people and their English teacher, they just go hand in hand. Yeah, it's such a weird stereotype, but it's so true. It's so true. They just understand you in a different way. So, going back into like a sort of a deeper thing, over the past few years with having your first acting job, what have you learned about yourself?
I've learned that I do have a limit for how much I can have going on at once. I learned that about like a month ago. I've always said that like the busier I am, the happier I am, and the more stuff I have to do, the happier I am. And about a month ago, I just sort of was like, oh, this is finally too much, and it was a lot. But I thought that I didn't have that limit, and I thought that I could just do everything all the time, and I couldn't, and I sort of had to breathe. And that's the reason I didn't do so good in my exams. It was just exams, heartstopper, this, that, too much, and I couldn't do it.
Did you ever experience like performance anxiety, and how do you deal with the fear of potentially messing up?
I mean, I was scared the whole time. I was never really not scared to perform. I don't know if, I should ask Kit if that's something that goes away with time, but I was always scared. I think the thing is doing it anyway, no?
Fake it till you make it.
Literally, just do it anyway. And I don't think I could ever feel like so relaxed and super comfortable acting in any way. I think it's always going to be uneasy because you want to do good. You do want to do well. And if you're not a little bit anxious about that, then I feel like you're not going to do so well.
Yeah, and I mean, having anxiety about something just means you care.
The biggest thing is, I think, getting in the car to go somewhere, because that's like the last point I can turn back. I have never, ever, ever been more scared than I was for the heartstopper chemistry read. Like, they sent me a car, and first of all, that blew my mind. I was like, why are you sending me a car, dude? I can get the bus. Like, it's Slough, I can get the train, it's fine. And then I got there, and it was like a hotel, and there was just people I didn't know, not a single person I knew. I met Karina and Yaz for the first time, and we were all so awkward, and we talked about, where have you been on holiday? But getting in the car was like, and setting off was the scariest thing. Just knowing that once I get there, I can't go home until it's done.
Going into the future, what kind of projects are you hoping to venture into in the coming years after school?
I want to learn more first. I'm taking a couple classes now, just because, I mean, I've been blagging it so far, and I think I'd like to actually know a bit about what I'm supposed to be doing. So first of all, classes. Second of all, I think I want to continue to be in as many queer things as possible. I think, like, if I've got the option, why not? That would be great. I'd like to play a non-binary character at some point as well. Maybe not yet, but I think I'd like to do that. And I also think I'd really like to play a villain, because villains are so queer-coded, and I think I would make like a great, I think I'd make a great like haunted child or an imaginary friend or something. I think I'd really like to be like a ghost.
I'd love to see that. Going into a little bit of more fun question. Since it's Pride Month right now, do you have any other pieces of queer media or queer artists that you would recommend for people to check out?
Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to get my phone and get up someone's Instagram.
Go. It's okay.
This is someone I've known from secondary school. They were the first queer, like openly queer person I knew. Yeah, so it's Margot LeBlue on Instagram. They make like incredible art. I don't know if you can see that.
It's very blurry, but I can imagine it.
It's
You know
really,
what?
really lovely. It's very retro, and they were the first queer person I knew. They were along my school route. They were the first like girl I saw with short hair. In my age, they were the year above me in school, and they used to wear this yellow cancan to school. And I used to walk past their house and then pick them up on the way to school. And they are doing such amazing things. The last queer book I read was Stone Butch Blues, which I thought was interesting. It was very interesting. I thought that was good. And you say queer musical artist?
Yeah.
Well, always listen to Sophie. Always listen to Sophie. You've got to listen to Sophie.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
If you could switch bodies with someone for an entire day, who would you switch with?
You can't ask trans people that question, dude. I'll go insane. Let me think. This is like too many options. Is it really basic if I say Timothy Chalamet? I'd really like to look like him. And I like his long hair. I think I'd feel really comfortable if I was Timothy Chalamet. I don't know about his life though. I don't think I'd like that.
Well, it's just for a day.
Oh, just for a day! Oh my god!
Just for a day.
No! I would keep it forever.
Like Freaky Friday, just refuse to switch back.
Literally.
If you had to pick a song to play every single time you enter a room, what song would it be and why?
212 Azealia Banks. Because I guess that can't get eaten.
I think someone asked you this on Twitter already, but what is the song that would save you from Vecna?
Oh, what did I say? Did I say Freak by Shy Girl? I think I said Freak by Shy Girl. I'm really coming out with hyperpop today. I don't know why, but yeah, those are all the songs I'm thinking of right now.
It's okay. Let's see if it continues. If you had to pick a song to be the theme song of your life, what would it be?
Young by Frankie Cosmos. Okay, so no more hyperpop. And just back to like the two artists that I know. I'm really not a music person. I know that's like a really weird thing to say, but I don't really sit down and listen to music. Like do you know what I need? You know how on like old Windows computers, they would have that like visualizer. I need that. Then I can listen to music, but I can't have like, what are my eyes gonna do?
Yeah, I need something else to do.
You should try crocheting, then you don't have to like take your focus off and you've got something to do with your hands.
I want to try that so badly because I want to make like a cute top for summer, but I'm so bad at it.
I only just learned. I got this Build-A-Bear yesterday, and I'm gonna make him like a tank top or like some trousers maybe. I haven't decided.
That's so cute. Did you see the Pride collection for Build-A-Bear?
No.
They made frogs and made them rainbow. They are so incredible. Wait, hold on.
That's so exciting.
Let me look it
You know
up.
what? Speaking of Pride collections, I have been playing Moshi Monsters today.
Yeah.
Moshi Monsters Rewritten, and I made the world's most camp room ever. And they've got these like pride flags that you can have in this like new version of Moshi Monsters. It's like, and so I've got this trans flag in my Moshi Monsters room. There's a non-binary flag in my Moshi Monsters room. It's amazing.
That's so cute. Okay, so this is one of the frogs.
Stop!
And then there's one wearing a rainbow shirt and rainbow boxers. They really said, I see you guys, we're making frogs.
I need to go back there. I was there literally 2 days ago. I can't go again. I'll be like, it's you again.
I'll support you.
Grown person.
I'll support you in your decision. Go back. Get a frog. I don't know if you've traveled a lot, but what is your favorite place you've traveled to so far?
Yeah, I really haven't traveled a lot. My friend used to have this little house in like France, in like some random village in like the south of France, I think. And it like I've never been in a more like empty place, which was kind of spooky but kind of lovely. And it was on the top of the hill, and she brought me and her mum and her dog. And yeah, that was really good. I mean, there was like no one there. It was great. It was like completely isolated. It was great.
Oh, sounds amazing. Going off of that, what is like a place you really want to travel to in the future?
Well, I've never been to the States at all, and everyone tells me I should, but I wouldn't know where to go. I want to go to more cities. I mean, Bash said New York was great, so maybe New York. I want to go to Sri Lanka. My dad used to work in Sri Lanka, and he just tells me stories about monkeys and wildlife there, and I'd really like that.
If your hometown was a food, what food would it be?
London, and fried chicken, I think, from like a chicken shop. There's this one restaurant near me which always makes me giggle. It used to be called Denando's, but Denando's, sorry, it used to be called Denando's, but Nando's put like a lawsuit against them. So they slapped this rubbish looking J over the N. So it says Dejando's.
If you didn't have the career you have right now with acting, what would you be up to?
I'd probably actually focus on psychology. Although I'm thinking about switching to anthropology, I'm really indecisive. I can never plan more than a year ahead because my interests will change. If I wasn't in acting, I'd have to do something creative as well, though. So I'd have to do some writing as well. I think I'd have to write.
Do you know your Hogwarts house?
Slytherin.
Honestly, I kind of figured that.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know why. No, but like I don't know. You give me. I was confused when Toby said he's a Ravenclaw.
Isaac's definitely Ravenclaw. But Toby's a Hufflepuff, surely.
That's what I thought, but apparently he's a Ravenclaw.
Well, he's lying.
He was so excited because he was also wearing blue, and I was like, I could have sworn he's a Hufflepuff. What fictional character do you think would be most exciting to meet in real life?
Anne Lister from Gentleman Jack. I think that would be very exciting.
Now comes the very last question, which can go either way. Either it's very funny or you have nothing on your mind. What is the most useless talent that you have?
I think I can do the thing with the tongue where it looks like 3. Yay! I can do it. That was so great. You have to mute that part.
So Toby said he can make up games. So
he doesn't make them up. He Googles them.
Well, he said he's coming up with them. Calling out Toby on all his lies.
He's just lied to you the whole interview. I promise. He's not giving you one truthful answer. He's just lied.
Thank you so much for taking your time to talk to me, us.
Thanks for talking to me.
And for everyone that is watching this and hasn't seen Heartstopper, what have you been doing? Honestly, go click off, go watch Heartstopper, and then watch our other interviews.
And that's girl stuff.